Well, good evening, everybody, and a very warm welcome to everyone joining us for tonight's stream. This is Invictus Racing League's F2 division. My name is Webbo, and I'm here to take you through tonight's penultimate round of this current season of racing. And I'll reveal my my co-commentator when he appears. He's just connecting his microphone and getting himself all set and ready. But our standings for this division, as sponsored by Nailcut Hall Hotel Golf and Country Club, and in partnership with Gridfinder and Driver 61. It's amazingly so similar to the F1 division. In F2, Ivan Belov leads the championship by a solitary 3 points from Ginger Tiger after a somewhat controversial departure from the point scoring positions, at least from the podium positions in the Chinese Grand Prix last time out. Ivan Belov leading with multiple wins to his name, but a low score and a couple of DNFs. From Ginger Tiger on 125, then we have Cool 132, who has been off the podium since since Monaco, and is on 86 points, but hot on his heels comes Smoke on 82, Nitrogash on 74, and then it goes Office Red, Joe Hamster, Ben Roberts, Simon Palmer, and Rosman down into P10, with Ben Roberts with the perhaps best string of form recently, having got a third place and a first place in the last 2 races. In terms of the Constructors' Championship, Aston Martin right on the cusp of stealing it with 171, and AlphaTauri on 149, close behind Alfa Romeo on 144. Then we have McLaren on 111 and Ferrari on 96. Alpines have not scored in the F2 Championship, mostly because we have very few drivers for Alpine, and any guest drivers have failed to score or finish any reserves. But joining me, I'm very pleased to welcome back to the commentary box. It is the F1 Championship contender. It's Max. Greetings, Max.
Hi, Webo. Hi, everyone. Really pleased to be here after the last one in France. So yeah, let's go for a nice race in Hungary.
How do you reflect on last night's racing?
Well, it's always interesting for me to see what the F2 drivers can do, mostly because I know a bit about the different strategies that you can do around this track, and plus, as we said earlier, the championship is really tight between Ivan Belov and Ginger Tiger, like it is in F1. So Ivan Belov can, I think, be crowned a world champion. World champion, Invictus champion. This race, if something bad happens to Ginger Tiger, we don't hope for that, of course.
Absolutely, he can do it. I believe he can do it simply by outscoring Ginger Tiger. If he got a win and Ginger Tiger a second, I think he's not out of reach. No, you're right. We need something bad to happen to Ginger Tiger in order to clinch the championship. But likewise, that very scenario took place in the Chinese Grand Prix. I know you weren't with us, but Ivan was wiped out, by an Alfa Romeo, and so it did happen. And for the first time in F2 this season, Ivan Belov got something other than a DNF or a win. So it's definitely very tense at the end of this one. Simon Palmer is almost round his first lap. We'll try and join a driver for you, Max, to give us a driver's guide through the circuit. But Simon Palmer putting the first time out there a 15.5. And quite a nice banker lap there on the soft tyres already.
Yeah, that's a nice one. Yeah.
Ginger Tiger about to finish his lap, so perhaps when the drivers are pushing on their second runs, we can get your view on things. Ginger Tiger about to cross the line, and that is a 15.9. Who else have we got out there? I think championship leader Ivan Belov is into the second and, for me, most difficult sector of the racetrack.
Yeah, this one is really tough. This corner is really tough because you can easily lose the car. Here is my favorite place of the track because you are like you have to be gentle with the throttle, but you are not compelled to brake, so it's really interesting from here. Basically, around this track, you should avoid the curbs because they can be really tricky. I think we saw that yesterday many times. Living Wall lost his car in the first lap by touching the curb too much, a little bit. Speed Queen as well.
Yeah.
And Ivan Belov only seconds, really close from Simon Palmer.
Yeah, good, so a good lap on the board. We've also got Tirac, Nitro and Smoke who set times on the medium tyre, but Simon Palmer's teammate Keza is on an outlap at the moment. I think that's about all that might be of worth watching. So maybe some of these medium runners, I think maybe Smoke is on a better lap on his second run on the medium tyre, and that's definitely an option. It did seem like, Max, last night the medium starters had a bit of an advantage.
Yeah, because I mean, the softs are not that good. That's why I've decided to quit early for hours at lap 5. I think the ideal strategy would be to go medium and hard. But of course, it means that you cannot get a good qualifying lap. But since there are only 13 drivers, maybe it's a risk they are willing to take. So I can understand them by trying to do that.
Yeah, good point. So we will watch for one of our leaders coming on an outlap. We'll join Keza on board as he is now barreling down towards turn 2 and get an idea about how his lap is going. He's got a Ferrari up ahead. I imagine that is, I think that's Smoke cooling down after setting a better... No, it's Tirac's car, but thankfully out of the way in a good place, and Keza invalidates this lap, and it's very dangerous. You're just grabbing too much apex there, Max.
Yeah, this corner is, I think, the most difficult one around this track, because you have the tendency to try to gain as many time as possible, because you can really do that by cutting a bit the corner, but the thing is that you can really easily lost control of your car. So you have to be careful. With the qualifying lap, I mean, you can try anything and it doesn't matter if you succeed or not. But during the race, it's not the same thing because you really have to be careful with this big corner.
Absolutely. Welcome if you're just joining us to the coverage tonight. If you're watching along, do let us know that you're here. Say hello. We'll get a shout out and tell us who you're here to support in the F2 Championship. Who you think is going to get pole is the big question right now. At the moment, it's Simon Palmer after the first runs, a tenth ahead of Ivan Belov, and then I think nearly 3/10 ahead of Kuipers in third place. Ginger Tiger in fourth, Mr. Steen, then Smoke, Ben Roberts, Tirac, and Nitro. Have set times. We ride on board Office Red, who is closing out the lap at the moment. Hi to Ryan, who joins us, and good to have everybody. I think Ryan might be supporting the Aston Martin drivers, particularly Ginger Tiger in his hunt for the championship. If you want to hear the current championship standings, just rewind back to the beginning of tonight's coverage and you'll get them all. But we'll definitely be talking about Ivan Belov versus Ginger Tiger tonight, plenty. Office Red goes P6 at this early stage, and I think, is that Keza running an extra lap there, Max? I think he is.
Yeah, that's a weird strategy. I will not do that with the softs. One lap is, well, yeah, he's going to the pits. He knows that shouldn't try another lap with this. You just mentioned the championship standings. Of course, it's really important. We don't have to forget that Aston Martin can clinch the constructor's title as well. And since Ben Roberts, he's on a huge form. He won in the Chinese Grand Prix. He made a really tremendous race in France. So yeah, they definitely have the advantage. But Kuipers actually is currently P3, so for AlphaTauri, which is second in the constructors, it's going to be tight as well.
Yeah, they're definitely trying to take the constructors and the driver championships, each of them. And how much of that is a distraction, Max? Before we join Ivan Belov on board for his next lap, is it difficult to fight two different battles at once, drivers and constructors?
Yeah, of course, because sometimes you don't know if you should put the emphasis on the constructor's title or the driver's title, because obviously with constructors you fight with the two cars, and I have Ivan Belov, I don't know if you all like to protest it. Yeah, he was really close, but it's still 8 minutes, so if that lap is not that good, you will have time to do another one. But yeah, I think for the AlphaTauri guys, they should put the focus on Ivan Belov, because they have only slight chance to get that constructor's title.
A little bit different for Alpine in F1 though, who just clinched it. So we do have a constructors champion joining us in the commentary box tonight. That is official. Ginger Tiger is on his lap at the moment. I didn't catch his second sector time. He's got a reference point of Ivan Belov just in front of him, who has bailed from his lap. He was over in the first sector, but Ginger Tiger is a quarter of a second up on his earlier time through sector 2. That is within range to get himself close to the front row. Possibly second row, get ahead of Kuipers in the mix with Ivan Belov. About to close out the lap then from Ginger Tiger. What will this be? It is a P3, and it is mighty close to Ivan Belov's time.
Yeah.
So I think Ivan might go for another lap now, Max, if you fancy taking us through his lap.
Yeah, sure. So let's go for the straight. Huge braking point here. Be careful not touching that curb that much, and Ivan Belov does it really well. Then you go really on the outside here, not touching the curb. Speedwheel did that, and it was really dangerous for her. Then the corner I told you about, really tough. He could have cut it a bit more, but that's fine. Then you do this this chicane right and left.
Wow.
Be careful with the gentle.
Just to cut across you there, Kuipers has gone fastest, a 15.3 Max, so getting very close to the times we were seeing in F1 last night.
Yeah, that's really an amazing lap, and Ivan Belov is not in contention for getting that pole position for now. He can do he touched a bit of the curb and he slide. And he knows that he won't get pole with this lap, so I think maybe he has another soft tires waiting for him, so in order to try to get that pole position, because P3 it's weird from Ivan Belov.
I don't know if that's championship pressure, or it's just the fact that this is quite an unusual track. Very little chance to breathe on this track. It's all go, apart from this one little start-finish straight. Keza goes straight up to P5, and it is just 3 teams in it, so it seems tonight. AlphaTauri, Mercedes and Aston Martin. I do expect Ben Roberts to put a better lap shortly. And Smoke has gone 6th than everybody else in the pits at the moment, with just over 5 minutes to go. I think maybe Ben might be going for a second run, is he? He seems a little bit slow coming out of the final corner. Up to P10 only for Ben Roberts. It was a half-second improvement, but this is slower than we were expecting.
Yeah, exactly. I don't know, and it's second lap on the soft, so I don't know. He still had the time to dive into the pits and do another lap with the soft tires, or wishing that is like P11 or something like that in order to start with the medium tires. It could be better.
Well, Joe Hamster might well get ahead of him. He's about to start his next lap. Will that be Joe's last stint here? Max, I don't think he'll have time to get round and back out with a new set of tyres. I think this might be it for Joe.
Yeah, no, that's over. So he needs to do his lap now. He won't get a chance afterwards.
So now or never for Joe, and he won't necessarily know, but we're all watching him, so no pressure on Joe here. I don't think his frenemies have joined yet to tell us that they're here to watch him crash. But Jeremy is here to say he is here to watch Mr. Steen crash. Joe Hamster, 3/4 of a second up and scrambling through turn 4, kind of collecting the car on the exit and getting it all together before he hits turn 5. Now this chicane is very difficult, Max, as well, to find the right line through.
Yeah, exactly. This is one of the trickiest corners around this track, but he managed to do that well. Let's see with the second sector. What a shame.
Always reminds me of Malmedy in Spa, that corner at turn 11, because you feel like the track is opening out to you and you've got the opportunity to, you really want to go for it, but the car always seems to understeer through as Joe Hamster is braving a pit stop to try and get back out again, and we've got Kuipers on an outlap too.
Finally, he will have time. So I thought too fast, because now, he will have time to set another lap.
So I think on track we've got Ginger Tiger in front of Ivan, in front of Kuipers, about to take their lap. So we're going to have to really watch very, very carefully to see who's got the best chance. I'll ride with Ginger Tiger first and see if he's up in his first one. And Max, you keep an eye on somebody else.
Okay. I watch Ivan Belov.
Great. So we join Ginger Tiger starting his lap here, and let's see how this first sector goes. Just teasing the car gradually into turn 1. Nice wide line on the way out, cuts back across, heading towards the braking zone of turn 2, just puts one wheel up on the curb, and long sweeping corners. Here we go through turn 3, virtually flat out. There may have been a slight lift there, and he is slightly up in sector 1. In fact, he's got a purple sector 1.
Wow, and Ivan Belov is just, it's just like 20 ahead of his previous time, so not a major improvement from him.
So Ginger Tiger trying to leapfrog Ivan Belov. He's, as I say, he is up by enough through sector 1. Let's see, he threads the needle on the way out. He's now 0.2 of a second up in sector 2, gaining all the time as the track is improving. Let's see where Ivan Belov is.
What a second sector from Ivan Belov, 4/10 ahead, wow.
So 4/10 would see him on provisional pole before we've been able to see Kuiper's first sector time. Ginger Tiger then for the line, improves and gets a provisional pole of 1:15.2. Pressure on Ivan Belov then, can he leapfrog Ginger Tiger? And he does, onto provisional pole. And let's see how is Kuiper's doing. He is 0.006 up, Ivan Belov probably 0.3 and an invalidation from Kuipers.
Yeah,
purple first sector for Simon Palmer, he's still in the mix.
Yeah, but he's got like 0.5 to recover from getting that pole position. It's going to be really tough.
1:15.0. I think that would have put him on row 3 in F1 last night, Max.
Yeah. Actually, he did a better time than I did yesterday.
I didn't want to embarrass you with that, but...
Yeah, no, it's insane, wow.
Simon Palmer is 0.2 up though. So he could get 1 place here. He could potentially get 2 places. Could we see a Mercedes in the mix at the front of this race? Simon Palmer, he was commentating with us last night, had the best view in the house for a driver. Got to see everybody's intricate details. And he goes faster, but not fast enough to jump up. He's defended his 4th place, but no way through just yet. I think maybe Smoke might be one of the last ones to start his lap. And we'll join him, but he's got a long way to go, Max.
Mr. Steen invalidated his time, so it's over for him as well. So it's only Smoke. I think there is cool, like the Alfa Romeo boys as well.
Smoke with a 2.5 improvement in sector 1. He'll need quite a lot. He's got a whole second to gain to try and get up on the front, but I'm sure he can move forward. He's on target at the moment to move up a place at least. He's just deposed by Cool Thought 132 though, who put in a lap good enough for 8th place at this stage. Smoke manages to get out of turn 11 safely, and he's 0.4 faster, which is a good improvement, which see him go up towards P5 Mr. Steen region, but he might still gain even further. Smoke through the penultimate corner, turn 13, waiting very patiently. These are such long apex corners. gets a slingshot out of the final corner and crosses the line into 5th place. Smoke up there onto row 3, and I think that's our grid, Max.
Yeah, and I mean, I'm really happy to see Ivan Belov and Ginga Tiger on the front row. Wow, it's going to be amazing first corner.
It's the best place, isn't it, for a championship contender to be starting? They don't want to be starting down in the mid-pack, Max.
Yeah, unlike me yesterday. Actually, but you know, it opened me the possibility to do a different strategy with stopping for tire at around lap 5, because you can get massive undercuts, and actually it could have worked for me last night, but I was kind of stuck between Rory Slender, I think, and but I could have managed to be in front of the Mercedes guys, because we expect the people doing a one-stop and finishing on the medium to stop around lap 8, so might be a good strategy.
Excellent. Well, we've got everybody starting on soft tyres in the top 10. Ivan Belov, Ginger Tiger, just a quarter of a second back. Then Kuipers, Simon Palmer, Smoke, Mr. Steen, Keza, Office Red, Cool 132 and Nitric Ash in 11th. Joe Hamster, Ben Roberts and Tirac will start on alternate strategies, I imagine. Ben Roberts down in P12, and Ginger needs him to move up here to try and secure the championship for both himself and for Aston Martin. And we will say hello to Tinus, to Burmeister and to Marco. Marco gave Burmeister Driver of the Day yesterday. Burmeister's here, I think, to support Kuipers. And Smoke tells us that his chair keeps moving on him, so I don't know if he's added a realism into that, and he's got some sort of G-force going through the chair, or it's an accidental thing. Marco is cheering on Kuipers as well, so Kuipers the most popular driver, I think, in our channel tonight. Ryan says he's supporting himself. Ryan, I don't think you're driving with us, so try and choose somebody. It will make it more interesting. Burmeister has said he is jeffing for Kuipers tonight, Max, so that should be interesting. Would you want Burmeister in your ear during a race?
Yeah. Don't know. You never know what to expect with Burr, but obviously he did strong race yesterday.
He did.
Yeah, had a nice fight with him. So yeah, it was nice. But we have to see with Kuipers, because if he wants to go for P1, obviously it means that he needs to overtake his proper teammate who is fighting for the championship, and it's really close with Ginga Tiger. So we'll have to see. Will he just back out, or will he try his chance?
Yeah, it's going to be very interesting, especially with Kuipers. He's got a lot of pace around here, it seems, certainly in qualifying, and we'll see how his race strategy works. Would you be in favour, if you were competing for the championship here, to split the strategy between the two teammates? Yeah,
of course. That's why it might be an advantage for Ben Roberts, because I think he would start on the medium, that's for sure. And as I've said in the beginning, to me, the best strategy is medium and hard tire. So it can really gain. But of course, starting from P12, you have much more risk to be in contact with the other drivers during the first lap. So you have to be really careful in order to make this strategy work. But yeah, we will see how Ginga Tiger and Ivan Belov behave in the first corner. I just hope it won't be a Bottas, last year.
Yeah, we won't be bowling with Bottas tonight to take out lots of drivers. Hopefully, yes, the drivers will all behave themselves. Everyone's got something to fight for here, and I think the guys know on round 14 of 15 that the race cannot be won in the first corner, but there's knowing it and then there's doing it correctly, which can be somewhat different. We've got Rents here with us, and then Daryl as well. Daryl's here to scope for tomorrow's F3 race, and it's a good time as any to encourage you to tune into F3 tomorrow and into the PC League, as well as Realistic Performance on a Thursday. The best way to know when all that is on is to tune in the same time every day, or to subscribe to the channel with the notification bell. Make sure you like the video tonight as well before we get underway racing. I'm sure that the F2 boys did enough to warrant a thumbs up in the qualifying. And it looks like, Max, we've got Joe, Ben Roberts on mediums, and Tirak is going to try and start this one on hards, but then he's got the least to lose out of everybody on track right now.
Yeah. I mean, from Tyrax, not really surprising. Just have to sit behind basically everyone, waiting for some mistakes in front, and just cruising, and then ending the race with the medium tire. So it can be a good strategy for him as well.
We saw plenty of crashes yesterday, and one major safety car that interrupted strategy. So you've got to think on your feet as well. Have a plan B, a plan C, maybe even an L plan ready to go for the racing tonight. Got to be able to react, and maybe that will help have Kuiper's having Burmeister in his ear. But I don't know if Burr will be cheering on a Kuiper's victory rather than helping the team and helping his teammate more specifically. Ivan will have Ginger Tiger on his inside for the first corner, and Kuiper's directly behind him. One quick thank you to our sponsors as the drivers get into position. That is Nailcut Hall and our partners gridfinder.com and Driver61. This is the penultimate round of the F2 Championship for this season, and the final season of this game's iteration before we start again with F122. Max, hopefully you'll be able to take us right along somebody from the rear of the field, and I will try and give everyone the best view possible from the front. The lights are on, the revs are building. It's time to hold those revs, drop the clutch, and go with Ivan Beloff and Ginger Tiger wiggling away from the line slightly. Aggressive start there from Simon Palmer, but Ivan Beloff sweeping across the inside. Simon Palmer already up to third, will go down the inside, but brakes pretty cautiously into turn one. Looks like a couple of drivers running wide. Keza one of them, and he's taken an Alonso route around the outside as Simon Palmer dives down the inside into turn two alongside Kuipers. I don't know if Burr will be cheering him on there as Simon goes wide and gets up to P3 already. What about you, Max? What did you see down there?
All the drivers were really calm. That was really surprising.
Well, we see Ben Roberts has gained 3 places already, and he's on the option strategy as well. Simon Palmer up 1, Kuipers down 1, Office Red up 2.
There's Ferrari Tyrak.
And Tyrak has struggling. Is he spun, or is he just slow through the chicane?
He spun during this tricky chicane, so yeah, he lost the car, but not that much time, so must be fine.
Yeah, so it's those cold hard tyres. The first time he's really leaning on them on the brakes in anger, trying to stay with the drivers in front and losing out. But all is not lost for Tirak, and we will go. Ivan Beloff has already put almost a second, in fact a clear second now on Ginger Tiger as they come out of the final corner. Simon Palmer 6/10 behind, with then Kuipers, Smoke and Office Red your top 6. But it's as they were as we head down towards turn 1. Once again, nobody close enough to challenge, although Keza was making a nuisance of himself in Mr. Steen's mirrors. Maybe Smoke will be tempted to have a go on Kuipers ahead. Kuipers looking a little slow at this stage, Max.
Yeah. It's not that bad for now, but he needs to stay under 1 second in order to catch the GR restraint, and Ginger Tiger is trying to stay in range of Ivan Beloff, and there is Mr. Steen with a mistake, I think.
Yeah.
It's not that much time also, so
he's back running, but he's dropped 6 places. Ben Roberts now up 4, up to P8 from 12th on the grid. We've got a couple of guys who have left us some predictions. Rent says Ivan, Simon and Joe. He reckons Joe's going to get up to the podium tonight. That's a big shout from Rents. And if it finishes like that, Ginger Tiger may be in danger of losing a potential run at the championship at the end of this race. There's a long way to go yet, though. 35 laps in total. Ginger Tiger gets the next fastest lap, but it's now really a battle, Max, of being able to balance how you treat these soft tyres.
Well, I think you shouldn't bother about the soft tires. I mean, the only thing, for example, Giga Tiger has I mean, he needs to focus on staying under 1 second. He's trying really hard to do that by draining his ERS. It's like only 1/10. But yeah, it's so critical to be in the DRS range. But at least he can be clear of Simon Palmer as well behind.
Absolutely, yeah. He's managing to get that gap. They're opening up those gaps slightly. Smoke is looking like the first man who will get the DRS profit down the start-finish straight next time round. DRS has been enabled, but there's no detection until the end of the lap. Just issues in the first couple of laps here for Mr. Steen and Tirac. Everybody else running competitively. Ben Roberts, one to watch though on the highest place medium runner. And Keza is close behind Office Red. Smoke is close behind Kuipers, and then it's looking a little bit more spread out. So everybody being fairly calm at this stage, nobody going super aggressive. Let's see what Smoke can do. Half a second back from Kuipers as they attack the DRS zone for the first time.
Yeah, and Smoke is really close. Maybe he will try after the first corner, but this is really tricky to overtake here because the straight is really short. Yeah, it won't be enough, and Ivan Belov really put the hammer down. Giga Tiger is 1 second 6/10 behind.
We've got Ben Roberts and Nitro coming well, they're certainly touching sidewall to sidewall. Nitro compromised through turn 3. That means that Office Red will try and run the long way round turn 4. Perhaps could have lent on the car a little bit more, but Nitro getting the elbows out after suffering similar treatment from Ben Roberts ahead. It's kind of taking it out on the wrong guy though, Max.
Yeah, well, the thing is that the track is quite short, so of course, you will have contact with other cars. We saw that yesterday, even myself. If you want to go for the overtake, it's... I mean, yeah, as I said, the track is really short, so really not large. So,
yeah.
Yeah.
Smoke was around half a second behind going into the final corner last time round. This time he's about 3.5 tenths back. That should be just about within range as he gets the DRS. You can see the overspeed generated, and Kuipers letting him go, I think. Not really fighting it on the approach into turn 1, but Smoke not willing to take too many chances here, blocking the middle of the track. Got a second bite of DRS and up to P4 for Smoke. I see Daryl saying that if Joe wins here tonight, he'll find him some F1 tickets because he works for one of Red Bull sponsors. But where's the love for your commentators, Daryl? I mean, honestly, that's not right. I think you should be gifting such tickets to commentators and F1 champions, don't you, Max?
Yeah, exactly. Ben Roberts has, he's been overtaken by Nitro Gash and Joe Hamster as well, which is not ideal because Joe Hamster is on the same strategy as him. So yeah. So
we've got Joe moving forward. Ben Roberts staying with Joe, but Ivan Belov in the lead on lap 5 by 2 seconds now from Ginger Tiger, trying to eke these soft tyres out as long as possible. Smoke seemingly now catching Simon Palmer. Smoke's got great speed here in the race. Simon Palmer let me know that he was 2 tenths away from his final run could have seen him P2, I think he said, but he invalidated, and but he thinks he's got a race set upon. But right now it's all about Smoke at this point.
Yeah, Smoke is doing really great now, and we have a fight between Nitro Gash and Joe Hamster with Ben Roberts. Wow, that's really good. Yeah, there is contact.
A little touch, and Nitro really not giving enough of a margin to the drivers alongside him. He almost lost the car there.
Yeah, they are really fighting hard. Each other. It's nice to see it.
In the lower order points, they're still fighting just as hard as they would at the front, maybe even harder with less to lose. But Smoke half a second back from Simon Palmer's 3rd place. As Max said, we've got a 4-way fight here for P7, Office Red ahead of Joe Hamster Nitro, and then Ben Roberts behind.
Yeah, if I were Jago Tiger, I would have tried to go for the undercut because he can't really see that Ivan Belov now is faster, so he needs to try something different.
I mean, you gained about 20 seconds on the leaders by pitting early onto the hard tyres during last night's race. Around this point. Nitro with a real dive bomb down the inside of Office Red into turn one. Nitro does a switchback, and there goes Nitro, trying to crowd the driver out on track for perhaps the third time tonight, Max, and getting a bit over the top maybe.
Yeah, if you play with the fire, it burns, that's for sure. Yeah, too many contacts. And yeah, he lost the car as well. He's really struggling right now.
Yeah, so Nitro perhaps needs to just can it slightly, tone it down a little, losing out big time. 14 seconds to Tirak in front. Did he damage the car, Max, joining back or not?
And it's race over for him.
So a retirement out of turn 4. Is he actually on the racing line? We have a VSC. Let's try and join from the perspective of Cool 132. See if we get there in time. But Cool 132 obviously slowing here to match the Delta. It looks like he's pretty much on the circuit here, Max. It's a strange place to lose the car.
Well, the thing is that it was his third time that he lost the car, so I think his tires were completely dead. And it's basically impossible to drive with softs that are
so we've got Kuipers, Smoke and Mr. Steen have taken this opportunity to get a cheaper pit stop. But we go green flag racing once again. It's Ivan Belov in the lead from Ginger Tiger, then Simon Palmer, Keza, all fairly well spread apart, not using the opportunity there. That I don't think they had the option, but that promotes Joe and Ben Roberts up to 5th and 6th. Office Red in 7th place, could have perhaps pitted, but Smoke, Kuipers and Mr. Steen have all pitted, as has Cool 132, and that could be pretty important later on.
Yeah, for Smoke, Kuipers, it's like a really perfect strategy for them. I'm quite surprised. I mean, Ivan Belov was already taking the long straight, so he didn't have the opportunity to go to the pits. But I have a doubt about Ginger Tiger, but I'm really surprised about Simon Palmer because it was his opportunity to go to dive into the pits. And now I think Smoke has a real advantage, and maybe he could be in front of Ivan Belov because he will be faster with those medium tires.
Tirak is 4/10 behind Office Red, might be about to pounce here. He's on the hard tyres. Office Red on 7-lap old softs. I think those hard tyres now, Max, will be in a better state.
Yeah, of course, and you can see that. I think it will be really easy for Tirak to go past Office Red, and Office Red knows it, so he's not resisting that much.
Nice little moment there from the game. I was watching Tirak braking head-on into turn 1, and you can see the game character, the helmet, is watching the car on the outside for where he's braking. That was pretty cool, actually. We complain a lot about the game, but little moments like that make me smile.
So I'm wondering when Ivan Belov, Ginger Tiger, Simon Palmer and Keza will stop. I guess this lap it's nice to stop. It's a good strategy if you go with the one stop with the medium tires. If you go below that, and Ivan Belov dive into the pits. So it will be interesting to see where Smoke is he overtaking him or not.
Ginger Tiger does the opposite and stays out. So does Simon Palmer and Keza. Now that's interesting that both Mercedes opted to not coming to the pits at that point. Ivan Belov is probably going to find himself in a little bit of traffic coming out. Now I was going to ask you, Max, apart from Simon Palmer, who would have watched, I think, will have watched Kuipers pit in front of him, would the front runners be aware that other cars have pitted, or will they just see the 4 or 5 cars around them?
No, you can just see the 4 drivers behind, so you kind of like missed the cloud. You cannot see what happened behind, so you just have to bet basically. and to see what happened. Just focus on your own strategy. And Ivan Belov managed to join the track in front of both Ferrari, which is really good for his race. And Smoke is not that far, but yeah.
So gap to leader for Tirac is 15 seconds now and dropping because, of course, he's on fresh mediums versus old softs on the top three. I fully expect the top three, some of them to pit right now. What does Ginger Tiger do? He's on the way into the pits. And then we've got Simon Palmer doing the same thing. Keza, I'm sure, will stay out and take the lead of this race because he doesn't want to double stack with his teammate.
Yeah, but it's a little bit too late for me. Lap 11 for Keza, he will struggle that lap, that's for sure. But there is one problem for Ivan Belov because the guy in front of him is Ben Roberts on medium, so he will not stop. Now it's really difficult to overtake on this track, so yeah, we have to see. And Jinga Tiger's problem for him is that he's behind both Ferraris. And yeah, it's going to be tough for him to recover because he was second before the virtual safety car. So you can see that Smoke gained a huge advantage by.
Yeah, the undercut very powerful for Smoke there. I think I'm sure as you were building to, Ivan Belov is now stuck behind the teammate of his championship rival. Ben Roberts will be well aware of this. I'm sure he won't do anything deliberately bad, but he's has every right to hold him up and bring Ginger Tiger back into the battle. Try and delay Ivan as much as possible. But they're also balancing, and this is what we were talking about before, Max. They're balancing securing the championship for Aston Martin as well. They can't afford to lose too much ground on the race pace overall.
Yeah, I mean, for Ben Roberts, he needs to, I mean, of course, to try to defend on Ivan Belov without doing anything stupid, of course. But yeah, I mean, it's not like Jingo Tiger is right behind Ivan Belov. They are like both Ferraris, so it's not worth ruining your own race in order to resist to Ivan Belov at all costs.
The Ferraris switching places, which brings memories back to the fateful day of Rubens Barrichello and Michael Schumacher doing that just before the line in Hungary, and proving a particularly unpopular moment in F1 history. Kuipers is looking quick, so now we've got the two championship contenders right with their respective rivals' teammates on track, and that should get very tasty indeed. Very, very interesting to see how these guys are going to interact. Kuipers on 3-lap old mediums versus Ginger Tiger's fresh mediums, and we'll see what kind of pace difference they've got at the moment.
Yeah, and Ginger Tiger will be kind of stuck behind Tirac, even if the difference between the tires are going to be huge. So should not be that difficult to overtake him, but he needs to do that really fast and trying to extend that gap to Kuipers in order to be clear from him.
Absolutely, yeah. He doesn't want to get in any kind of battle with Kuipers. Definitely wants to keep putting a car in between himself and his main rival's teammate. Smoke gets a new fastest lap, quickly beaten by Ginger Tiger, who is unlocking the pace of 1:18.8 for Ginger Tiger. Drops the bars considerably and gets very late on the brakes behind Tirac. Will he get close enough to have a go into turn 2? By that kind of braking performance, he may well be able to do it. Down the inside goes Ginger Tiger. That was super brave, but he outdid himself and went too deep into the brakes.
Yeah, well, he really wanted to do it, but yeah, maybe a lack of self-control a bit here. He knows what is at stake, and Tirac is really, really slow with his old hard tires. So yeah, it's not the place you want to be really.
So Ginger Tiger now has to do it all over again. Lap 13, Joe Hamster leads from Ben Roberts, who have both yet to pit. Then Ivan Belov, your de facto leader of the race in P3, followed by Smoke. Tirac, again, yet to pit, but will be out there a while on hard tyres from the start. From Ginger Tiger, Kuipers, Simon Palmer, Keza and Mr. Steen. Mercedes have very much dropped back in this race so far, but plenty of racing left to run for them. We're heading towards half distance here. It looks like I'm confusing my my Schumacher Barrichello moments. Down the inside goes Ginger Tiger. So thanks to Renz for that. Ginger Tiger down the inside, gets the job done in turn 1, manages to then get ahead with a little bit of extra DRS down into turn 2. Yeah, Renz rightly pointing out that the moment I'm referring to is the Austrian Grand Prix, whereas Schumacher and Barrichello, most famous for Barrichello's Williams years, when he accused Michael of trying to kill him against the Hungarian pit wall. I do remember now. Now Tirac, with Ginger Tiger released, Tirac will now try to stay on the back of Smoke on very different tyres. Ivan Belov has got the gap down, Max, to Ben Roberts to just over a second now.
Yeah, and Ginger Tiger only needs to hope for one thing, is that his teammates basically hold this position, and he can manage to gain a bit of gap with Smoke and Ivan Belov as well, but it's 5 seconds, so it's quite a huge gap. So yeah, you can see Ben Roberts is trying to defend by doing the serpent, like the snake.
Well, the Burmeister line down the start finish straight from last night, certainly. But Ivan Belov not able to find his way past just yet. I was just thinking Simon Palmer might have a go on Kuipers down there, but not quite either. It was a little bit too close to have a go. Ivan Belov will be frustrated probably for another lap at least here, as he will try to get ahead of Ben Roberts, getting very, very close here. He might try and surprise him into one of these corners in the middle of the track.
Well, it's impossible to overtake here. Apart from the last straight, you have an opportunity after the first corner and then after the third corner, but apart from that, it's really, really tough. So I think he will patiently wait for the DRS because he's really close now. He's got 92% of ERS, so and yeah, Ben Roberts on 50. So
yeah, that is a bit of a signature of Ivan Belov, a little bit like Jaume in F1, likes to save all his ERS for the end of the race and try to get through as much of the early part of the race without it as possible. Ben Roberts trying to break the toe. I think it'll be a hiding to nothing though. Ivan Belov will have, that is the second move across the racetrack into the braking zone though, and Ivan Belov around the outside of Ben Roberts, who can't really push him wide, and we wait and we wait. Oh dear. It had to be at the moment that the camera cut out for me. I didn't catch what went wrong, Max. Did you see?
Wow, I just caught the end because I think I was on the same camera as you, and I was surprised not to see the drivers came on TV. And then I saw both drivers in the grass against the wall, the barrier, so I didn't see the beginning of the action. But yeah, wow, what this is like crazy, like
that is high controversy here because as we talked up, I wasn't really expecting any contact between the two drivers, but I thought Ben was too far back on Ivan to push him wide or sort of blend the steering out wide. I thought Ivan Belov was ahead, but they obviously managed to collide. Didn't get a full read on that, but Ivan Belov has to swallow that and now reset and reframe his attack. Ben Roberts heading into the pits, it looks like, presumably some damage repair. Ivan Belov staying out and will try and cope with whatever setup he's got on the car. There's a lot of weaving going on ahead of him. That's going to be a big distraction for Ivan Belov as Kuipers goes down the inside of Tirac. Very different tyres, remember. Tirac on the hard tyres tries to switch back and successfully gets back past. Whether he'll hold on into turn 2, I feel sure Kuipers will try and hold that line, and he does get the job done eventually, but this is going to be difficult here for Ivan, who is trying to make up for lost ground.
Well, look, I was kind of surprised that everything was a bit calm during the first 15 laps, and then it just was like crazy. At least for Ivan Belov, it doesn't seem that he's suffering from any damage, which is really, really good for him because he can still save points. For now, it must be his own focus, his own objective. He can do that. The problem is that there are 3 cars ahead, all with DRS. So yeah, he needs to be careful. But yeah, what a shame with Ben Roberts. I'm sure drivers will provide with their own footage to see that.
The trouble for Ivan is that any steward decision can't take points off Ginger Tiger. So if Ginger Tiger continues to outperform Ivan Beloff, that could be a big problem in the championship. Simon Palmer going for a move here on Tirac, trying to thread his way through. Ivan will try and also take advantage of this one. Simon Palmer down the outside of Tirac, and very brave move, but he couldn't quite complete it. Tirac had track position, had the inside line through turn 2, and they will go round following this hard tyre runner once again as Ivan Beloff's progress towards the front is halted, and Ginger Tiger now within half a second of Smoke, and he really needs to maximise the score tonight if Ivan is going to low score as he did in the previous round.
Yeah, I mean, Ginger Tiger now is in position to go for that win because he's really close from Smoke on fresher tires. And from Ivan Beloff, you know, it's what basically I experienced yesterday when I was behind Speed Queen overtaking all those cars. Is that you cannot overtake the car in front of you if basically it's within range of the DRS with the car ahead. So you just have to wait for a mistake and trying to dive to do basically a desperate overtake in order to make it work. So it's really tough, and now he's got Keza behind. So what is
interestingly, Tirac has caught Kuipers as well ahead. So Tirac on 18-lap-old hards is catching 10-lap-old Kuipers, and that means that DRS train has been extended. Ginger Tiger could not get the job done on Smoke, despite trying to move around in his mirrors, and I think Ginger Tiger starting to get a little bit frantic in the cockpit there, Max.
Yeah, I think he knows that Ivan Beloff is still in contention for good points, so he knows that he needs to maximize on that. He knows he needs to overtake Smoke, but he still has 16 laps to do that. He's on fresher tires, so he should be patient and wait for his time.
Yeah, I affirm that. Ivan getting super close, almost pushing Simon Palmer around the circuit, but he's also got a Mercedes behind him as well as in front of him now. And Keza will try to bully and get involved in this fight, try to help his teammate out by distracting Ivan Beloff, who is having a look down into turn 12, but I haven't seen a successful move down there for some time, Max.
Yeah, this is a huge Mercedes sandwich. And Tirac is going for the pit, so it will definitely help Ivan because Simon Palmer will not have the DRS, I think, and just in front it's his own teammate. So...
Oh, Ivan! Sorry, Ginger Tiger makes contact with Smoke round the outside, almost. Complete copy of what happened to Ivan Beloff. Ginger Tiger spun about 90 degrees round, and down the inside will try Kuipers, and a big drama there. Again, another issue for one of our championship contenders, and it's almost a fair crack at the whip for both of them, Max, to have them both have the same issue.
Yeah, but I'm quite afraid that he's got some damage. I can see, some oversteer. He seems to be struggle a bit. That will be so frustrating for him. Yeah, he's really slow.
Whether Ivan will feel like that is karma for Aston Martin, one way or the other. As Ren says, that's now levelled. How much time is lost in the pits? I think it's about 19 to 20 seconds, Max, if my memory serves me right. Daryl asking at the moment. But the undercut, super powerful round here. I don't know, Ginger Tiger seems to be getting a better feel for the car now. Or will he doesn't pit. He doesn't pit. It looks to be a little bit more comfortable. Maybe just bringing those tyres back into temperature gradually. But he's got a job on his hands to catch Smoke now, and Kuipers will be behind him. Behind Kuipers comes Simon Palmer, and then Ivan Beloff stuck between the two Mercedes. Simon Palmer with that bright pink helmet, very noticeable on track.
And now Ivan Beloff can see Ginger Tiger in front of him, but there's two cars between. but there is his teammates, which is really, really important because basically he will not have any difficulties, I guess. Oh, and Simon Palmer's going for it.
Simon down the inside of turn 4. I did see a move successfully done there yesterday. He has the outside run through turn 5. Ivan Belov looking to take advantage of this one, and I can't see Simon getting ahead into the chicane either, but slow through the chicane goes Kuipers.
Oh,
they make wheel-to-wheel contact on the way out of the chicane, and I've got the feeling this is all going to turn a little bit nasty soon here, Max.
Damage for Simon Palmer, that's for sure.
Was that a collision as well on the way through as he was slow through turn 11. Simon presumably getting hot under the collar. Full safety car has been called as we have lost an Alfa Romeo on track of call 132. Alfa Romeo doing pretty well in the championship as well as the cars slow towards the pit lane. Simon Palmer slowing the field down for, I presume, his Delta, and screaming around the pit lane goes Ivan Belov looking for track position here, Max. Joe Hamster didn't pit, he couldn't.
Look, it's exactly like yesterday. Like the safety car came out like lap 19, and Ivan Belov, like Jam yesterday, decided to stay on track, and Jagger Tiger, basically like me yesterday, decided to pit for French medium. So wow, those like 5 last laps were absolutely crazy. I mean, what a waste we have.
Absolutely. Yeah. What a brilliant place! What a brilliant place for a safety car as well to leave us with what 10 racing laps to go when we finally get going again. The field will condense under the safety car, but it will take a little bit of time as all those pit stops have just been taken. Ben Roberts is the rearmost car in the field now, but of course everyone will be all together towards the end of this one. Interestingly, Simon Palmer and Smoke have gone for soft tyres, Max. And some drivers made that work yesterday.
Well, I mean, it will of course work for the first 5 laps, but then you will struggle so much in the end. The thing is that the safety car came out a bit later than yesterday, so I guess it makes more sense to go with the soft tires. I guess Smoke will have no difficulties to pass Ivan Belov.
Oh, Joe, is that Joe coming into the pits? It is. Oh, that's sad to see. While the field condenses, he'll get a slightly cheaper pit stop than it would have been in green flag conditions, but yeah, lots of drivers will be able to gain that track position on Joe right now.
Yeah, it reminds me of Jeffrey Stinson in China in F1. He was P1 and the safety car came out just after he went past the straight line, and he was not able to go into the pit. And yeah, Joe, it's 9 position with soft tires. He will have to fight to get some good points.
We've got a split opinion in the live chat, Max. We've got Burmeister saying WTF is Simon doing, and Rent saying that Kuipers cut the chicane corner and then still hit Simon rejoining the track, so possibly an unsafe rejoin. How did you see it?
Honestly, I don't want to talk too fast because a lot of things happened. I was trying to see, but I know between the both AlphaTauris and both Mercedes, it was really, really tricky between those two teams. Of course, there will be some, I guess, heat debriefs afterwards. But now we have to focus on the race. Ivan Belov is the only driver to have chosen to stay on this medium. He knows he's fast, so I can understand him perfectly trying to get that position.
But is he fast enough? As they will restart now. Is he fast enough on old mediums to repel Smoke? Because Smoke will be the guy who has the best chance here with the fresh soft tyres, the first DRS profit. Ivan's going to have to monster these first 2 laps, and that's going to eat into his tyre life as well, Max.
It seems impossible for me to resist to Smoke, who is on fresh stuff, but he needs to, even if he's overtaken, he needs to be still close to Smoke in order to overtake him afterwards.
Absolutely. Well, they will restart now. There's a good gap between the drivers. In fact, half the job's done already for Ivan Belov, who pulls away from Smoke quite convincingly. Simon Palmer down the inside of Kuipers. There'll be no quarter given here in this battle, as Simon Palmer on soft tyres should get a good drive out of turn 1, and he does. Gets the job done very early on against Kuipers. They will also go too wide around turn 2. The other Mercedes of Keza getting past Mr. Steen, and Keza on the same tyres. Joe Hamster can't make any headway on Mr. Steen. Oh, he'll try though, round turn 4, and there'll be more contact. We may get another safety car as Joe is spinning, spins to the infield, cuts across the track, takes off his front wing, and it is all kicking off in this F2 race. We did have a very calm first sector, but first stint here, but it has all started getting very, very messy. Smoke has picked up a penalty as well, and that's pretty important for this race.
Wow, yeah. Yeah, what a shame for Joe Hamster. A disaster end of a race for him.
Yeah. And he had no idea he was racing here for F1 tickets from Daryl in the chat either.
Yeah. And you can see Smoke is really faster than Ivan Belov, and Jungle Tiger as well is in contention. So Ivan Belov needs to try to resist. There is no DRS yet. But
Smoke on got better braking performance, and honestly that looked like Ivan just expected Smoke to disappear on him as they made wheel-to-wheel contact again. More contact for the championship contenders, and they'll go side by side around turn 2. Ivan Belov will probably lose out here on this corner, but he tries to sweep across the outside once again, and no shortage in bravery on round 14 of the championship. And now it's Ginger Tiger getting clattered by Smoke, who's desperate to hold on to this place. Ginger Tiger, Smoke making contact with both championship leaders. Tirak up the inside of Simon Palmer as well, down towards the chicane.
Wow, this is too much to take, Weibo. I can't stand. Too much for me.
Oh, spinning off goes Simon Palmer from a great position in this race, and a great qualifying as well. Simon Palmer spins off and manages to recover the car, but he's right down there in P10 now. And we just saw, was that Ben Roberts out of the race as well? Straight lining turn 11, spins straight out. That looked like a steering wheel disconnection or something similar there, Max. That was almost an unconscious driver moment.
I can breathe. Like, honestly.
I'm afraid you get used to this kind of thing. Now Smoke heading down the inside, and he's got that 3-second penalty, but Ivan not fighting so hard this time. Now what are we seeing here, Max? Are we seeing the championship contenders just being unlucky, or are they driving too defensively and too aware of their championship position?
I think, well, I'm trying to speak now, but it's really close between Tyrek and Kuipers. I mean, fairly, I think the other drivers are not really nice to the championship contenders. I mean, they don't care. They don't care. They just want to go through. I mean, Smoke really defend aggressively against Jingle Tigers. I mean, he didn't take the corner. Jingle Tiger was forced to be really wide with that corner. I think it was a bit too aggressive from Smoke, but that was completely crazy. What an end of a race we have here.
I will remind everyone that Max is talking from possibly projecting a little sense of being a championship contender himself. I have to say, yesterday you were showing some incredible bravery overtaking drivers, putting your championship in their hands on the outside of corners, on the inside of corners, and you were very decisive. But driving with a lot to lose is part of becoming a champion, no?
Yeah, but I mean, of course you will think, well, the other drivers know that I'm in championship position, maybe they will not try to do anything foolish, but you realize it's not the case. I mean, everybody is here to do his own race, which is, I think, normal. But and Ginger Tiger's got a 3-second time penalty.
Ginger Tiger, that is catastrophic for his bid for the podium and outscoring Ivan tonight. Perhaps, Max, you can tell us how many warnings Ivan's on. I would suspect very few, but it's quite easy to trip over track limits here, and Ginger Tiger's going to have to be very careful for the rest of this race.
Ivan Belov doesn't have any warnings, so perfectly fine. Wow, but what for Ginger Tigers? I mean, I think he just saw maybe the victory slip to his hands. I mean, it's a disaster for him, those 3 seconds, because he's not close to overtake Ivan Belov now, and he needs furthermore to extend the 3 seconds, so it's going to be really tough for him.
Absolutely, Ginger Tiger is right there, but he's also got Tirak right behind him. Keza somewhat behind there, and then Kuiper's very aggressive behind Keza. Of course, everyone in the rest of the championship, they have other placings to battle for, but also they want that last shot of glory towards the end of their season. I know, Max, in the previous season you won your first race on the last race of the previous season, so everyone wants to finish strong. Whoa! But wow, Tirak wiping out and spinning, taking off a corner of the car, taking off the front wing, and we will go safety car once again. Smoke on 5-lap-old softs might take the opportunity to pit here. Joe Hamster is almost a lap down now as well. Sorry?
I think it's a disaster for Ivan Belov because, well, maybe not that much. Of course he will stay out on track, but I thought maybe he will dive into the pit, but he will, lose too much time. So I'm just wondering what the other drivers will do, because if you put the soft on, then you will have a crazy end of a race, I guess.
Oh, is that a move from Office Red to the pits? And Mr. Steen in 6th and 7th positions. Simon Palmer as well. Joe, of course, has got an age to drive round. He'd only just put new soft tyres on. Very little point in him doing anything different. And Smoke will pick up the safety car with what we will presume will be about 4 racing laps to go with the end of this race. Smoke in the lead from Ivan Belov on now pretty terminally old mediums, Max.
We are not ready for the rest of this race because Office Red, Mr. Steen and Simon Palmer will be so fast for those last laps. They will have the advantage against Kuiper's Keza, Ginger Tigers, who will have the advantage against Ivan Belov. I mean, basically the last drivers are the ones who are going to be the fastest. So it's going to be really close between all those drivers. It has been what a second state of a race. I cannot believe it, really.
Well, pick 3 drivers out of a hat, and you might have more luck to select a podium out of these ones from the top 8. I think this is anybody's, especially the way things have been going, and with the penalties on the board for both Smoke and Ginger Tiger on 3 seconds each. Also, Office Red, Mr. Steen, Simon Palmer, they have just put fresh softs on, as has Joe, and they will be looking at the opportunity here to make moves forward. Mr. Steen was, I think, temporarily off track and lost a place there in the safety car period, so he's just dropped back slightly. But Smoke in the lead will have the opportunity here to pull away from Ivan Belov, who is going to be vulnerable on cold and old tyres to Ginger Tiger directly behind him.
Yeah, I'm quite surprised about the Ginger Tiger, Keza and Kuipers, because I would have tried to go for the soft tires, because obviously the drivers behind would have gone for the same strategy, so I wouldn't have lost any position, and it would have been a major advantage, for example, for Ginger Tiger to go with fresh soft against old medium with Ivan Belov. But he wanted to stay just behind Ivan Belov, which is kind of understandable. But yeah, I mean, all the guys with the fresh softs got 3 seconds time penalty, and we will not have DRS until lap 33. So I think
that's true.
Laps are going to be crazy.
Oh, yeah, nothing is more guaranteed than a 4-lap sprint at the end of a race to start getting more contact. The thing is, those guys on soft tyres have got nothing to lose. They're just going to go for it. We've got 9 runners left. Everyone is going to score points if they get to the finish of this race. This is going to be very, very crazy. I'm tempted just to sit back and stay quiet, but that's not really my job. Rents is going to sit back and enjoy this one. I hope you've all been enjoying it that are watching live with us. Very grateful for you all here. Max and I are definitely enjoying this one, but very, very tense about the championship situation. I can well see Ginger Tiger putting 3 seconds on Ivan Belov here before the end of this race as well.
Yeah, but he needs to be careful with Keza and Kuipers because they don't have penalties, and he can lose like a bit to Ivan Belov to the championship. And the safety car is not coming into this lap. It's really strange.
So we'll end up with, what, 3 racing laps to the end of this race. It looks like that's Joe just not quite catching up to the back of the tail. He has now, but it's just maybe 2 corners too late. So Smoke will take us round once again. It's going to get even worse for the drivers. And now Joe pits again. So
yeah, there's another fresh soft because he was 4 laps with his soft. So not all is lost with Joe Hamster, who was P1 and then he crashed, and then he was not able to dive into the pits with the safety car. What a race for him as well, but he still has got some points to grab and hope for mistakes in front of him because he doesn't have any penalties, so he can be in the fight as well.
Absolutely fascinating end to this race. So let's hear anybody's predictions. I think you'd be brave to predict things to finish as they stand. Smoke and Ginger Tiger with penalties, as have Office Red, Mr. Steen and Simon Palmer. I think other people will probably get penalties before the end of this race. Probably not Ivan Belov, given his normal driving style. But let me just see. Keza is on 2 warnings. Kuipers is warning free, so Keza might be the guy to be most likely to pick one up here as everyone's trying to navigate everybody. Daryl says clever from Joe to pit at this point because he knows he's going to catch the queue before it gets going once again. So all eyes on the championship contenders. Ivan Belov 3 points ahead of Ginger Tiger with 1 race to go after this one. This is super important. And remember, Ivan Belov suffering contact with Ginger Tiger's teammate. Ginger Tiger suffering contact with Smoke. Perhaps it worked its way out, but that's 2 races for Ivan Belov, and 2 times he's been hit by other drivers further back in the field while after pit stopping. So he'll be feeling all the pressure of the championship, and I know you know what that feels like, Max.
Yeah, Ivan Belov is truly in a good position, I think, now to win that race, because with 8 laps old soft tires, Smoke is going to struggle a bit now, and he's got this 3 seconds penalty, so we'll see.
Ginger Tiger almost overlapping Ivan Belov, and he gets the better run out of the final corner. They will go 3, 4, 5 wide down the start-finish straight. Ginger Tiger looking down the inside of Ivan Belov. Will he launch one? He goes for it, and Ivan gets hit from behind as well as Kuipers gets a little bit long on the brake pedal. How is everyone going to get out of this one? Ginger Tiger in 2nd place, Ivan Belov holding on to 3rd. Simon Palmer all the way up to P4 as well, and now Keza dropping back. I think it was Kuipers that hit the back of his teammate, Max.
Well, I just saw Mr. Steen. I think he completely missed the braking points. And Joe Hamster, yeah, he was fighting, I think, with 30% Keza, and it's over for him.
Simon Palmer jumps down the inside into the chicane on Ivan Belov, who makes contact, and Simon makes triple contact with Ivan Belov, who holds firm and wants to try and hold on to this 3rd place desperately, even if that means parts of his car are flying off. Ivan Belov has dropped 3 seconds to Ginger Tiger, and that's really important given the penalty difference. Simon Palmer on the soft tyres has Office Red screaming down the outside into turn 12. I said I hadn't seen a move around there for ages, and now we're getting one on this restart lap.
Wow. It's crazy. You can see that Ivan Belov is not going to give that position easily, trying anything to keep Simon Palmer with fresh soft behind, but it's going to be tough. And now, as you said, he's got 3 seconds between himself and Ginger Tiger.
No, I said that wrong. I had gap to leader showing there. So it's less than a second. It needs to be more than 3 for Ginger Tiger to hold on to this position against him. Smoke is up the road though on soft tyres. That Ginger Tiger will want to try and catch him, and he'll be hoping that the Mercedes drivers start annoying Ivan Beloff once again. I think they touched 3 times coming out of the chicane. That was crazy stuff. Through the chicane they go then. Smoke, Ginger Tiger, Ivan Beloff, Simon Palmer, Keza, Office Red just behind him. And Ivan Beloff getting a little bit of speed now and trying to stay within DRS. This is crucial. If Ginger Tiger can break the DRS gap, and he has at this stage before the detection zone, then Ivan Beloff will struggle to regain it, Max.
Yeah, I don't think DRS will be available now, but it will be for the last lap. So I think he needs only to defend to Simon Palmer. I mean, for the win, it's going to be tough. Yeah. So we will have DRS for only for the last lap.
Simon Palmer's actually weaving to defend from his teammate rather than attacking Ivan Beloff here. Keza on medium tyres goes around the outside of Simon Palmer now, and he gets the job done, and that's going to help Ivan Beloff, who drops out of the DRS range once again from Ginger Tiger. It's Smoke, Ginger Tiger and Ivan Beloff, your top 3 with 1.5 racing laps to run now. Ginger Tiger has gapped Ivan Beloff by enough to stop the DRS, but not enough to hold on as Ivan gets a little bit wiggly on the way out of turn 4. His tyres really feeling it. You can see Keza coming right up close behind Ivan Beloff now, who has finally found that ERS button and is using it to try and stay ahead. But it's a real struggle now.
Yeah, I think Simon Palmer got damaged, and that's why he decided to let Keza go through, because he would have been faster otherwise. But Keza is in a good position to overtake Ivan Beloff, and he only has one opportunity, and that's now with the straight, because it will be the last lap.
Here comes Keza then. He's right behind Ivan Beloff, almost trying to have a go on the way into the final corner. Maybe that's too close too soon, but firing out of the final corner comes Keza, and he overtakes Ivan Beloff almost before he presses the button. Ivan Beloff tucks straight back up behind him to try and get what he can out of the toe and defend from Simon Palmer, who will have also DRS down into turn 2. This is where this race will be decided for the podium. Keza has no penalty, and Ivan Beloff likewise, but is dropping back further and further from the clutches of Ginger Tiger, who needs to be outscoring Ivan Beloff here tonight. We've got Keza derating up the hill towards turn 4. Ginger Tiger hanging on 3 seconds back from Smoke, and now just over 2.5 seconds ahead of Ivan Beloff.
Wow. It's going to be so close between Ginger Tiger and Ivan Beloff. They are trying everything. They don't have ERS. Ivan Beloff is only 15%, Giant Tiger as well.
2.4 seconds, 2.2 seconds the gap between Ginger Tiger and Ivan Beloff. I don't want to do Smoke a disservice, who is coming around the final corner. He's battling hard tonight, but Smoke will round the final corner, and he will, I think, hold on to the win here tonight. Smoke crosses the line first on the soft tyres at the end of this race. Ginger Tiger in second. Keza leapfrogs Ginger Tiger, and Ivan Beloff gets the final podium place against Ginger Tiger by 1/4 of a second after penalties. Kuipers in P5, and Simon Palmer drops down to P6. Then comes Office Red, Joe Hamster, and I think Mr. Steen. I can barely take stock of what's happened with that entire race, but Keza picked up the fastest lap as well. That means that Ivan Beloff will outscore Ginger Tiger tonight and extend his gap to Ginger Tiger in the championship. But Smoke takes the win tonight, and well, he was determined to take a good result out of tonight, Max.
Yeah, what can I say? It was I don't know, I think it's the most intensive race I've ever watched, honestly. Well, for the 15 last laps, it was crazy. You could see that, I mean, all the ingredients were there. Championship fight, all the drivers willing to overtake each other. But I guess there will be controversy after that race, because there were a lot of contacts. Yep. And maybe the final standings will not be the same. I mean, we will see.
Well, maybe the constructors might suffer, but yeah, we will have to wait and see for everybody's reports to come in. We'll try and remember to leave some comments on this video to indicate what took place. But Smoke sprays the champagne for Ferrari at the front, and it will be Smoke. It will be Keza and Ivan Beloff we will welcome to the press conference. Max, if you've got time, you can stick around and ask some questions of the drivers too. Just a quick update from Ben Roberts. He said he overcorrected after touching the curb. It wasn't a wheel disconnection. It was that took place. Lots of messages coming into the driver chat, but I'll take you through the final standings. It is Smoke who takes the win tonight. After penalties as well. Keza in second place and the fastest lap. Great points for Keza. And then Ivan Beloff, frankly, Max, survived that race to finish third, just ahead of Ginger Tiger in fourth. The penalty, all important there for Ginger Tiger for track limits. Then Kuipers in fifth. Simon Palmer, Office Red. Joe Hamster got an 8th place finish, and Mr. Steam brought the car home in P9. We lost Tirac, Ben Roberts, Cool 132 and Nitrogash. All pretty high speed contact or crashes that we lost the race, but there'll be lots of bits of carbon fibre scattered around the Hungaroring, Max.
Yeah, only I think if my math are correct, it's only 5 points between Ivan Beloff and Ginger Tiger for the last round next week. So as in F1, it will be going until the end. It's nice to see. But yeah, Ivan Beloff really did a great job, not taking any penalties. And he was focused, and he managed to keep that P3. I think he is P3 for the moment.
That's right.
So yeah, good for him.
Okay, just give me 1 second. I will just try and arrange our drivers into the party. I'll make sure that Smoke has seen that we're here, but I'm also trying to get Keza in as well. Let me just, I'll be the only one who can speak at the moment, so I'll do a quick thank you to our sponsors. They are Nailcut Hall and our partners gridfinder.com and Driver 61. Smoke is on his way in. I will just try and get Keza as well. 6, 7, 8, 9, I think it is, isn't it? 1 moment. There we go. Another driver who hasn't added me yet, but hopefully our drivers are getting ready in the press conference and just checking that their broadcast audio and party audio settings are set to share for us. But Smoke, it's been a while, but a win here in the Hungaroring. Talk us through that highly eventful race from your seat.
Yeah, it has been a while. I can't imagine me keeping it. I'll be honest. It wasn't my intention to get in any sort of trouble. My incident with Ginger, the first one, that was just unlucky.
Right.
Purely because he had the pace on me. He went round the outside, and I was trying to back out, but he kept closing the gap. So I was trying to come off the brake, stay on the brakes, but I just kept locking the front. So I was trying to ease off it, and then it just didn't go end well. I intended to give him the position back, but I had the tussle with Ivan, who, well, I think that one was a bit more 50-50 because I braked because I had the tyre advantage, so I braked attached later. I had the inside, I was more than half a car length alongside, but then he squeezed me on the next part. So, and then I don't know what happened then after that, to be honest.
Well, I hope you're good at your clip editing game or finding timestamps, because I'm sure you'll have to send some footage in one way or the other, whether you're reporting or being reported. But I mean, if this stands, it's a great performance and a great result for you as the season comes to a close.
Yeah. Towards my editing side, no, I'm just going to go through my stream, give them the timestamps of where it is, and dab at it. I'm probably going to lose this win, but it's just one of those things, I suppose. I tried my best to stay out of the way. I just thought they'd be a little bit more cautious, seeing as they're fighting for championships. So
yeah, it's difficult to put yourself in that mindset. Max, any questions from you? We have Max Smoke with us, the F1 Championship contender.
Hello.
Yeah, Smoke. Yeah, as I've said, it was really an intensive race to watch, and I can't imagine by driving through this race. I thought for the last safety car that maybe you would have tried to go into the pit in order to have the fresh soft, but I guess you made the right strategy by staying in front. But can you tell us how you manage those safety car, different safety car, and the strategy you chose?
I did toy with the idea of pitting again for a fresh set of softs. However, I think I actually got front wing damage with the tussle with Ivan, so I elected to stay out to save the time. That and one of my strengths on this circuit is tyre wear. My tyre wear was actually quite low, and I thought with there only being 5 or 4, however many laps there was at the end, I thought I'd be able to eke out the tyres and completely abuse them, and then stretch out the gap. But it kind of worked, but I'm probably going to get like 10 seconds worth of penalties and probably a race ban for the last one. Who knows?
There was a lot of contact out there. I'm sure not all of it your fault, and maybe not any of it. We'll have to wait and see on what the stewards decide after all. But congrats on crossing the line first anyway, shall we say. You can at least accept that one. Well, hopefully you can have a good race next week in the finale in Silverstone. We're also joined by second place running Keza. Keza, that was quite an eventful race from your seat as well in the Mercedes there.
Yeah, pretty eventful, I'd say. I don't know if you caught it on stream, but I nearly got collected by Steen in just after the first sector. I was a few inches in that one. I was sweating a bit after that, but yeah. To be honest, I had a consistent race all round. I only did about half an hour's worth of practice for this, but yeah, I enjoy this track anyway. Like I'm pretty good at this track. If I'd known Smoke had a 3-second penalty at the end, I would have probably pushed harder. But yeah, there was a few unfortunate events. Luckily, I didn't get caught up in any, from what I know of anyway. So hopefully, no penalties will come my way.
Looked like you had some good pace through that race, though. You were. Was there a cooperation going on between yourself and Simon later on? We saw you passing him. Was that just down to tyre delta, or what was the deal between you and your teammate?
Well, he picked up wing damage on the last few laps, I believe. So I think he just let us through because I was the quicker car, and I obviously gained a position on the last lap as well. But I don't know if Ivan had wing damage, but yeah, Ivan's quick around here anyway. But yeah, we were communicating all the time, me and Simon, picking the best strategy for each race as we go.
Awesome. Yeah. Well, Max, anything from you on Kez's race?
Well, no, yeah, because there were so many contacts during this race, and I can recall that you basically stayed out of trouble. But I can remember some tense moments, including with the AlphaTauri. At one point, there were like 2 Mercedes and the 2 AlphaTauris. How did you manage basically to stay out of trouble and to try to save your car, basically?
Well, yes, there was a few moments. One on the last few laps, just after the restart, actually, the second one. This track isn't wide anyway, so it's not advisable to go side by side. So I just decided to hang back. I thought it would be the best option, try and pick up the scraps if there was any luck. But unfortunately, there was quite a few this race. But I think my race was conserving my tyres, making sure I picked the right moves when possible. But yeah, I enjoyed this race. It was a pretty good one. I enjoyed it.
Congratulations on getting up into the podium. It's great to talk to you as well after the race. So thanks for taking part in the press conference. Must give a little bit of little time here because we've got to hear from Ivan, championship leader, who looks to be extending his championship at the end of this race. And Ivan, I think if someone had told you you might extend your lead in the championship by the end of the race, you'd probably be quite happy about that beforehand. But I imagine you're not feeling too best pleased about how things went on track today.
Oh, mate. I think I will put some reports tomorrow. The race began very good, and then Ben was weaving in front of me. We spun, and before the race, I just prayed for no moves like in China, and it was very annoying, I think, for me. And then I just concentrated and tried to do my best. A lot of contacts, mad race, absolutely mad race.
Yeah, a lot to take in there, Max. I know you were putting yourself in Ivan's shoes here as a fellow championship contender at various times.
Yeah, I can imagine when you had this contact with Ben Roberts, you just hoped not touching the wall too much and not having any damage, which was kind of a relief, I can imagine, for you. But when you saw that Ginger Tiger had the same kind of problem, did it kind of like please you to see your championship rival having some sort of issues as well and being in the fight with him?
Oh, yeah, of course. I will lie if I say that I wasn't happy. And then after the second restart, we had a contact with Ginger. It was like I had a contact with Smokey, almost the same situations, and I just happy that I had no damage. I got no damage after these contacts, and it was a really hard race for me.
Yeah, absolutely. A very difficult race with lots of bits of AlphaTauri left out there on the Hungaroring circuit after the race. Ivan, talk us through that incident with Ben Roberts from your perspective. It looked to me like you were ahead on the outside, but did you get a squeeze on the outside, or did you not have enough room? What was the situation?
I was close behind him on the main straight, and he started to weave, and then I went to the outside. I was like half of my car was in front of him, and we had a contact. I can't say, now I'm sure that he was at fault, but I don't know. Stewards will decide.
Yeah, I'm sure they'll see all the evidence from both drivers. Unfortunately, we got nothing on stream because of the terrible camera angle on the exit of turn 1 that we got. I was trying to watch trackside, and you just the two of you just didn't appear on my camera, so all we saw was you dropping backwards.
Oh, I have some words, but they are not for the stream.
Yes. I think that's probably very wise of you. You wouldn't want to end up getting a penalty for making accusations on stream, but you've survived nonetheless. By the sound of things, it may be more than a third place, but you have extended your lead in the championship. You go into the final race of the season in a better position than you went into this race. That's got to be some comfort for you.
Yeah, but it doesn't matter if I just want to have a clean race in Great Britain, and that's all.
Yep.
Because if there will be some moves like this, it doesn't matter what points I have.
Well, let's see if any penalties are issued, but GG all the same. You survived. It was a difficult race, but at least you kept it on track and brought it home in the end to gain from any punishments, or even if it stands a third place is a third place. Ivan, thanks for joining us, and we'll see what happens through the week. Max, any final words from yourself before we say goodbye?
I just need to relax after this race because it's like I'm 10 years older. Wow, that was really intense. A lot of contact, but I think it has something to do with Hungarian because this track is not wide. I think Silverstone will be better from that part, so we should have a nice title fight, I hope, for the F2 drivers next week.
Absolutely. Well, thanks, Max, for standing in for the commentary. It's been a pleasure to have you with me. I hope everyone's been enjoying the coverage tonight. Thank you to everyone who has taken part, and of course to our sponsors and the admins and league owners and everybody that keeps Invictus Racing League running and going. Do tune in the rest of the week for the rest of our coverage. But from myself, Webbo, from Max, from F1, we will all catch you on the next race day.